Okay, guys, I'm recording the other side. I'm not recording using Skype. I'm recording using my software. So, Moonmaker, you can still use your Skype to do the recording. Good evening, all. Okay. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Okay, so we can now start. I'm just trying to open your assignment. Okay. Are you able to see the screen? There's the same assignment, the PDF thing. Are you able to see it? Okay, that's very good. Okay. So this question reads, Mr. Nguzu has 100 hectares that can be used for growing. Mr. Nguzu has a farm, 100 hectares farm, just write somewhere. Mr. Nguzu has 100 hectares farm that can be used for growing 60% of corn and 40% of soybeans. His yield is 95 bushels per acre per year of corn and 60 bushels of soybeans. Labor is pegged at 120 per hour with the requirements of 6 hours per acre for preparing the entire 100 acres, plus 4 hours per acre of corn and 8 hours per acre of soybeans. Cost of seed is 55 kwacha per acre. Let me just remove this thing. Hello? Are you able to get me? I've just removed the things, just disturbing me.
Yes, we get.
Okay, let me just put a bit of some volume. Okay, let me just, I was getting distracted. Let me just read this thing. It's okay, it reads, Mr. Nguzu has 100 acres farm that can be used for growing 60% of corn and 40% of soybeans. His yield is 95 bushels per acre per year of corn and 60 bushels of soybeans. Labor is pegged at 120 kwacha per hour with the requirements of 60. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Somebody making noise.
Just mute if you are trying to talk to externals. Just mute. You can only unmute if you want to talk to me. Those are the rules. Labor is pegged at 120 per hour with the requirements of 6 hours per acre for preparing the entire 100 acres, plus 4 hours per acre of corn and 8 hours per acre of soybeans. Cost of seed is 55 kwacha per acre of corn and 74 kwacha per acre of soybeans. The entire 100 acres requires 60 bags of fertilizer at a price of 320 kwacha per bag. Corn can be sold for 25 kwacha per bushel and soybeans for 55 kwacha per bushel. Required, construct a model in Microsoft Excel. Ignore absolute and relative referencing, doesn't mean a thing. To conduct sensitivity analysis on the model that shows the following. Using the GOSIC, help Mr. Ngozi to determine the break-even point of his farm. But you see, again, let me just explain this thing to you guys. A GOSIC is just an activity. So one would not know that you use GOSIC to get what you got. Because with GOSIC, I can do something like this. I just want you to have an idea of these things, guys, so that as you get into the industry, you don't savannah. You don't embarrass yourself because it's not good. Let me just open something. Yeah. I don't know what is happening with my Excel, guys. Okay, this is what we were looking at yesterday. Is it today? Okay. Okay. So do this so that you understand what this GOSIC is. Just show units, type units in C4, type units. Type 5,000 units. Type selling price. Just below there, selling price. Selling price, type 7 kwacha per unit, obvious. Then cost per unit, type 4. Then fixed cost, type 5,000 or 6,000 kwacha. Then someone tells you required, prepare, prepare profit and loss account. Just write this so that you understand the principles, guys. That is here. This is the area of business. Then someone then tells you use GOSIC to determine.
But someone is typing and they can't connect. Who is that one?
There's a certain lady from the full time, the morning thing, yeah. So let me just try and thank you. You're very observant. Thank you so much. So let me do this. So someone tells you this is the wrong way, but this is what is there. Use GOSIC to determine break-even analysis or break-even point. I just want to show you. That GOSIC is just an activity that one would not know that you used GOSIC to get what you wanted to get. How have you typed this? Just type this thing, guys. It's gonna help you.
Typed, Coach Carter.
You have typed, huh? So,
Yes.
I'll do like this. You can call it anything. You can call it output. So, we'll start from here. The first thing that we'll do, guys, we'll first need to get sales. So, with sales, we'll say sales is 5,000 units times selling price 7. Then we'll go to cost of sales. Or variable cost in this case. Variable cost, which will say.
How did you put that there?
No, I just typed it.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay. So the variable cost is going to be 5,000 units times the cost per unit 4.
Times 4.
Then contribution here, guys. Contribution
Coach.
Yes, Rob.
Variable cost, you multiply what and what?
Okay, it's number of units. You have these units. So if you are to get your sales, it's the number of units that you are going to sell times the selling price, which is the 5,000 times 7.
Selling price.
Yes. Then the variable cost is the cost per unit 4 times 5. Then contribution will be 35,000 minus variable cost of 20,000.
You are breaking on the variable cost.
So the variable cost is the number of units that you are going to sell times the cost per unit, which is 4.
Okay, so 5,000 times 4.
So we are saying you get your contribution, guys. Then you have your fixed cost here. Remember.
We are not seeing this, what you are doing now.
You are not seeing the screen?
No. We are just seeing you.
Yeah, I'm seeing Moneka.
I'm seeing math for now.
Yeah, you have to see it.
Yeah.
So now, you are able to see my screen, isn't it?
Yes. Then for contribution, coach, what did you do?
Contribution is sales minus variable cost. Rahab, what you do, you guys, like, you know, these courses that you are doing, they should have started you from basic. It's like this, they just went straight to start giving you these things, huh? But they need to explain what contribution is, what sales is. So what I would do, Rahab, I have a class, a similar class. I just started some lady that I'm teaching.
Okay.
If tomorrow, if you are not working, or if you are working, because of that class, I'll be looking at absorption costing. You can just join in. She's just started recently, just for free, to join in, so that
What time?
It will start, I think, at 14.
Okay.
So that at least you get to understand these basics. From absorption costing, you go to marginal costing where there are contributions. You will continue to just moving on like that, so that you have a firm understanding of these things. It's very important.
Yeah, that's true.
There's some lady that I'll be training tomorrow by the name of Matilda Long. So let's move on, guys. Then the fixed cost. Fixed cost, we said, is how much?
6,000.
6,000, huh? So before they start giving you assignments, they should have taken you into a very like a crash program, just to even understand the concepts. So down here, guys, this is where we're going to have our profit. So this is what will be required to do in that other question. But then what she's asking, what the question is asking, not her, what the question is asking, it's a bit strange, because you have been asked to use GOSIC to determine break-even point. Let's use GOSIC and tell me whether someone will know that what you use was GOSIC. So take your cursor, you just press in D23, or where there's profit. I don't know where you have put your profit. Just press in there.
Okay.
Then go to data. Are you there?
Yes.
Go to what if analysis.
Okay.
Go to GOSIC. So we're saying set cell. Which cell? That cell that is there. We are setting to what? To 0, because we want to break even, to 0. Do you know why you're taking to 0?
Okay.
Because you want to break even. Your profit is 9,000. But you are saying you are setting that to 0. Where you have a 9,000 profit, it's actually been set to 0. Are we there?
Okay.
Because that is break-even. Break-even point is a point where you are neither making a profit nor a loss.
Yes.
So by changing which cell, so we go in, then we are saying by changing which cell, the ground rules here is that the cell that you want to change, it needs to be hard-coded. You don't need to have a formula in it.
Also, just write 9, not putting a formula.
No, there's a formula in 9,000. I'm saying by changing the cell that you want to go to. Who is following this? Who is doing this?
Okay.
So by changing which, because you want to know how many units we should have for us to break even. So by changing which cell? By changing the 5,000 here.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because it's the 5,000.
So the value will put 0.
Yes, 0. Why you are putting 0? Because it's your profit. You are actually saying this profit that we have here, we want to take it to 0. But which variable? We want to see how many units we should produce for us to break even. Hello? Hello, yes, fine.
That's the
Hello? What's this? How is it? Yeah? Yeah, I'm intensive care. Sad, yeah? Yeah? Yeah. Hello, network is breaking, huh? Hello? Guys? This... Oh, just a second. Hello? Yes, what? I think there's a network problem somewhere, huh?
So, GoSeek will help you determine figures to get to what you want to get. Huh? Omega.
What are we changing matter?
So, in GoSeek,
G4.
yes, G4, the one which has 5,000 units, that's where you press. So what I've learned, so far is that by using GoSeek, I want to find out what inputs do you need to have in order for you to get to a certain output. In this case, we are saying for you to have 0 profit, where you haven't made and you haven't made the profit, which is you need to work on the unit.
Break-even point.
Okay. So I'm looking at okay, then it will something again say okay. Figures will all change. The fact that your profit is 0, the units Mwarabu 2,000. So in short, someone will know that at 2,000 units, you will not make a profit, neither will you make a loss. The fixed cost will be 6,000, but the units, if they are 2,000, the profit is 0. Why, Kataka?
We lost it because of network. So I'm trying to do the okay. The units are coming to 2,000 and then the profit is 0. I'm alone here.
Martha. Omega.
Hello, Ra.
Okay, when finding this 9,000, did you use a formula? Hi, Sarah.
Hi,
Yes,
you want
use the formula.
When finding the 9,000, you use the formula?
Yes, yes, that
Okay.
is equals D21 minus D22.
so you put a formula, Mr. Meka?
Yes, Ra.
Were you putting
D21.
formulas in the 9,000 and the 35 and all?
Yeah, the 35 is a formula, 2000 is a formula of contribution. Profit also there is a formula.
All right.
The only one which is hard coded is fixed down here.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back as well. I'm back as well.
Okay.
Okay, so you have done this on the GOSIC thing.
Yes.
Then press OK.
Yes.
Press OK. So it shows that for you to break even, you need how many units? 2,000.
2,000 units.
But after you have done this, tell me if someone will know that you did a GOSIC.
No, because the variable is not going to have any formula. The
Yeah.
2,000 will still show as stupid. So someone won't even know.
So you understand why saying use GOSIC. You can see the screen. There's.
Oh, I can.
So if you can't see the screen, just log off, then log in. You will see it. Aye.
Martha, what was your explanation again?
So what he's saying is, when you click on 2,000 there, is there any formula showing under 2,000?
Nothing, it's just like hot coded.
Like someone has just typed 2,000, not so.
Yes.
So that's what he's trying to say, that is it possible that someone will know that you used GOSIC?
No.
Okay, dear point in your mind.
Okay, right.
Then on the break even, guys. So for us, you can do whatever you want to do there, but we'll put in a formula to get break even point. You can do that GOSIC of yours, but it doesn't show anything. It doesn't even make sense. In modeling, let me now address you. Let me address Miriam. In modeling, when we develop models, we don't put GOSIC. If you put GOSIC, you just, it's more or less like you just put in a code to show that if they want to do other simulations, they can use the GOSIC thing. But not that there's a thing that you have put, no, GOSIC, what, no. These are for quick data analysis. When someone asks me, suppose we want to see a profit of 4,000, how many units should we sell? Then I'll do a GOSIC. Quickly, it will give me that.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not something that you say in the exam at no, use GOSIC to get this, no. Because even if I don't use GOSIC here, let me show you. It was, we had how many units on top? We had 5,000 units. Even if I don't use GOSIC, guys, even if I don't use GOSIC, I'll do this trick. Do you know that to have break-even point, it's a point where your fixed costs equal your contribution?
Oh.
That's how it is, because your contribution is your cash flow, cash inflow. So if your cash inflow equals your fixed cost, this is fixed cost, guys. Let's call it right, folks. So at the point where your contribution equals your fixed cost, that's a point where you break even. So for me, what I would do this. I would say for this contribution for 15,000 to move to 6,000, I need to remove how many units, or I need how many units? I need first a 6,000 on contribution. So I'll do like this, just check the trick. I'll do 6,000 here, divided by, even if I don't know the GOSIC that she's telling you, I'll do a 6,000, say divide by, I'll go to the contribution per unit, the difference between 7 and 4. What's the difference between 7 and 4?
3.
3. That is what you call contribution per unit. So I'll say divide by 3. So to give me 2,000. So I know this is the 2,000 I'm going to use here. Then Nabuela, I don't even go to the GOSIC thing. Guys, know these tricks, know what it is, understand modeling. So I'll put a 2,000 here, and it gives me 0 this side.
Wow.
So always, if I'm trying to get contribution, if I'm trying to get break even, I just go to the fixed cost. I'll say fixed cost divided by the contribution per unit. It gives me the units. And in any case, that is even the formula for break even point, is fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. Hello?
We are right. We are right.
Yeah. You're very lucky. So now let's look at the question now. I hope you understand that this part of you use GOSIC, unless your lecturer or whoever your examiner is watching you doing it. He's seated and you have beamed. There's a project, and then she's telling you, or he's telling you that now, guys, use GOSIC to own at mzapeza very different mpeze. Hello?
Yes, coach.
Otherwise, if she doesn't do that, I can even say this thing here, which was here. I would even just check, if I don't want to do that, to do what I have shown you, I would check the difference between, for the 15,000 to go to 6,000, it's how many units that I need to drop. So I know that here, it has to take about 9,000 kwacha. So I'll say equals this 15 minus 6,000 divided by 3. So I know that it's 3,000 out. So I'll come here and say 5,000 minus 3,000. It will give me 2,000, and it will take it to 0. So Tiani, guys, so now let's now look at that question. At least you understand in principle. You understand in principle this GOSIC thing. So now, guys, here, this is what we'll do. First, we'll get our 15 marks. Then we'll go and get our 5 marks. That's what I was saying. Today is a long night. Then maybe you can rest here. You would have finished it in your weekly allocation of three classes at 1 hour. You would have finished all the allocation. Then we meet next week after the exam. We go to this. So let's can you allocation, guys? So now we move on. So let's create now a new workbook. Control N, just coming up with a new workbook. It's just Control N, guys. Control
N?
Yeah, you just press Control N.
Control N. New workbook.
This is Ziali. Where we show you practical things. And also spend more time, guys, on my YouTube account. I'm bringing in very nice stuff there. Subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll be able to see all the new content that I'm bringing in. Let me even save this thing. You're calling it log 4. What are you calling it?
On YouTube, Coach Carter.
There you just go by Fitzpatrick Kapepe. Just search Kapepe. Then subscribe.
Okay.
Subscribing is just a 1 second thing. You just press button.
I will.
I'm just trying to save the workbook now. We go into your stuff. So I'll say log 4 model. Mildred, you are welcome. You are welcome. Patotela sana. I'm sure you're able to see Mildred now.
I'm going to let you up.
No, it's fine. That's when we're even starting. We are now starting looking at the assignment.
You're welcome, madam.
Thank you so much.
Then I saw the Livingston. Where is area Mumpu? How are you? Guys, don't just sneak into my class. At least just say hi. You just get into my classroom. We'll switch off the air cons. Okay, understand. Okay, understand. And at least now we have been represented in all provinces. As the Lusakans, there's Mildred, there's Monica, and there's Yvonne. Then in Mongo we have Mumeka. Sarah stiza kuyachokera Sarah. Then there's also a lady from Monica. I'm just introducing the people that we have in here. Mildred. Then we have a lady from Atichani Pajapa Mulungushi University. Manyumbe. We have Mbuyo there from Manyumbe. Then we have Rahab from the sweetest town, Mazabuga. We have Miriam Munkalakot. So the Lusakans are many, eh? Okay. Then we have Jacob. We have Jacob from Kasama Wanderers. Okay, so we can now start, guys.
Coach Carter, you haven't introduced me.
Oh, we have assistant coach from Ndola line. from Ndola. So we can move on, guys. One big happy family here. You know, guys, it's very difficult to teach online. You need to have a lot of sense of humor. To be serious, you can't manage online lecturing. Your students, you always come out blank, yeah? But I'm serious. Okay, we now look at this question, guys. We create a worksheet that we are going to call assumptions. Like I said, we have a long night. If you feel that you have been left behind, please ask questions. This is where you learn things that we do in the industry. As Sivama Mabuko, we don't even read books. I don't have time to read books. Maybe that time no. Someone got up with my books. So now, our assumptions, guys. I'll beautify it, but you don't start beautifying it, otherwise you will take time. I know I'll still give you this. Okay, so guys, we'll have to type here and show the assumptions. First, we'll start with the assumptions. I just want to show you how you come up with a clean model in real life. Here, first, we are actually going to look at the, okay, we have these assumptions where we have on sales, we are going to look at all the assumptions on sales, then we'll go to costs. So just type sales somewhere. Just type sales in whatever, whichever thing that you're going to type. Just ignore what I'm doing, guys. I'm just trying to come up with something that is more professional. You can do whatever because it's meant for marking. Just want to show you how we do these things. Okay, so the sales thing that we have, we are actually going to show, first we have how many hectares, guys? So the farm has 100. So here I'll show measure. In C6 type farm, in D type measure. So here we'll show 100. So this 100, the measure is acres. We'll do like this. So the farm itself. So we are actually showing that we have 100 acres. Sorry. Then here we are actually being told his yield is 95 bushels per acre per year of corn. Then 60 bushels of soybeans. That's the yield. So we'll type yield here. So do like this. Sorry. We'll type it from here. Yield in B. We'll do like this. So the yield, we have, what is there? We have corn. So type corn. And we have soya. So the yield is what? These are called the bushels per acre, 95 bushels. So I'll grow it a bit here and type bushels per acre. Nicely as a professional, because you guys are professionals. Also in Savannah, you're professionals. So the corn is 95. Type 95 nicely, you're going to enjoy this. And 60 bushels like this. Maybe in cities, someone will say there are different types of soyas. Or soybeans is one, or it's soybeans, eh? Soybeans, eh? Not soya. Yeah?
Soya.
Ni soya.
Ni soya.
So there's an error there, eh? We have to do it correctly, guys. Not soybeans, eh?
No.
You remember farmers? There are no farmers here.
It's soybeans.
Oh, okay. Okay. Hello, have you done up to there, guys?
Yes.
So we continue here now. Our interest is just to look at all the assumptions to do with the cells. So this on labor, forget about it. It will come in under cost or under labor. Then plus 4 blah blah blah. Cost of seed is 55 blah blah blah. The entire 100 acres, 60 bags of fertilizer at a price of whatever it is a cost. Corn can be sold for 25 kwacha per bushel. So then we go now. We show selling price. You copy this. We'll come there. So selling price, guys. Selling price. We are told what is the selling price for corn is 25.
For corn is 25, then for soya is 55.
You my guys, hello? Can someone just look at the question and tell me? This is just a quiz I'm giving you. Look at the question and tell me what is wrong. Look at the scenario there and tell me what is wrong. I want to see alert people in this group, in the ZCAS class. Look at the thing and tell me something before we continue. When they do these scenarios, when they get them from the internet and they try to change things, they should not overchange the numbers. Just check and tell me something.
The cost of buying seed is more expensive than the selling price. That's one of my observations. So this farmer is spending more than he's even reaping. And then the entire 100 acres requires 60 bags of fertilizer at a price of $3.20 per bag. This whole business is way too expensive than what is coming out of it. Because you think the entire 100 acres requires 60 bags of fertilizer at a price of $3.20. And then the cost of seed is 55 kwacha per acre of corn and 74 kwacha per acre of soybeans. Then now they are saying corn can be sold for 25 kwacha per bushel and soybeans 55 kwacha per bushel. I don't think this is a profitable venture. Because the yield, now we want to yield for it. It's 95 bushels.
Hello. Tell me something. I like your innocence, eh?
The cost of coming up with the inputs are way too expensive than what they are going to realize. Because the cost of seed is actually more expensive than the selling price of this corn and soybean. And the fertilizer also 320 per bag.
In my bushels and branch.
So we are thinking it's not a profitable business.
Yeah. Whoever use this question, I know these are internet questions changing few figures, but the best thing is to first you do it yourself. You create a model, right? Once you create a model, then you use your model to start changing the numbers, then it starts making sense. Because just to start here, you cannot be forced because already you are going into negatives. You can't have a corn which you are selling at 25, and yet a corn you are selling it at 25 per bushel. Okay, then corn of seed is 55 per acre of corn. Okay, Tizawana, maybe she's right because here we have bushels. We have to convert this. Let's give her a benefit. Let's give this question a benefit of doubt. Yeah. Let's see once we start converting this from bushels to acres and whatever. Okay. For now we'll say there's no error. Let's look at it. So we are saying the corn, the selling price is what? That is bushel, huh?
Corn is 25 per bushel.
So say kwacha per bushel. So we have 25 and 55, huh? Sorry guys. Okay, save. That was on. I think we are ideally we are done with assumptions on sales, huh? So we go to assumptions on what? On costs. Okay, take it down here. So here again, now we start following the story and changing whatever has to be changed. So I told you it's 35 per hour of corn and 60 of labor is pegged at 120 kwacha per hour with the requirements of 60. Okay, so labor first. which is kwacha per hour. How much? 120. Guys, today you have a long night, eh? Maona ka?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, mnanzira chani. Then we are saying labor is pegged at 120 kwacha per hour with a requirement of 6 hours per acre. So meaning to prepare 1 acre, it takes 6 hours. 6 hours. So labor facing that. Here, I think we'll take this thing slightly down. Let me just do this. So I'll say labor. I'll bring labor here. Copy. I'll bring it here. And delete. I'm just trying to format. Financial modelers have to be very smart when they are doing these things, not just from Excel or Chabia. It has to be nicely done. So you have labor, then we have the rate. That was the rate, guys, which I have to pick here and cut. Cutting is control X. Pasting is control V. So I'm cutting it to there because that is under labor. Then labor again, we're actually looking at the number of hours that you take to clear. So I'll say hours per acre. Let me just see the thing. So preparing the whole 100 acres. But you see, this part doesn't really make sense. What we know is that it's 6 hours per acre, that's it. Whether it's 40 acres or whatever, we'll be able to compute how many hours in 100 acres. So we'll say hours per acre. Yeah?
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Can you repeat? Hello?
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 Hello, we're getting you. Power is gone.
Hello? Yes, we can record it.
No, it's been recorded. It's recorded. All our lectures here are recorded. Tinacha. All the lectures here.
The recording, you just get it on Skype.
Yeah, you just get it on Skype. I'm recording, but you just get it on Skype. I also put it on YouTube, but yeah, everything is being recorded. That's the beauty of this class. Hi, Martha. Yeah, Masa.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, I'm right.
So we have rate, which is kwacha per hour, which is 120 hours of preparation. So maybe here I would say preparation. Maybe I say preparation. Much that in power. I say preparation. I take it slightly like this. Then we say hours. Hours per acre, like this. So we are saying per acre, it's 6 hours, like that. Does it make sense, Masa?
Yes, it's making a lot of sense.
Because once we are done with the assumptions, setting them up, guys, it will be very easy to finalize this thing.
That's true.
What other thing under labor?
Now, why have they said plus 4 hours per acre of corn and
That's the line I wasn't understanding.
We'll go there. We haven't yet reached it. Don't jump the gun. Don't jump the gun. It's dangerous. If you are a cop, you'll be happy, a trigger happy. Let's see, move stage by stage.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are done with this part. Ignore this. This doesn't mean anything. This part here doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Then you are saying plus 4 hours per acre of corn and 8 hours per acre of soybeans. Minabatu. So here, what are they trying to say? If you are clearing, okay, let's just understand this thing. If you are clearing, let me talk to you first. I can see you. Let me just talk to you. If you are clearing the whole land, per acre is 6 hours. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense. Let's just follow what this thing says. If you are clearing the land, per acre is 6 hours. Meaning that 100 acres, you will take 600 hours. Hello? That is clearing. So we don't know whether this clearing, you are not now specifying it to I know maybe it might be different from preparing land to grow sweet potatoes and preparing land to grow calembla. Maybe it might be different. But I think what we are now told is that if you are preparing this land for corn, which is a bit confusing, if you are preparing this land for, after you have cleared the whole land, then now you say, Nyambopanga mabedi, or I start doing these things. So you are now becoming more specific that to prepare land for corn, it will be 4 hours per acre, because now you have been taught plus. So whatever you have done, you have just cleared this land. I think it still makes sense. You have cleared this land, Mashoka, you have done all the things that you have done. Then now you say, now ngatifuna kushanga kandolo or soya beans. This is how long it takes, because obviously there will be different requirements. Let's hear from farmers here. There are no farmers, they are all consumers. This is worrying, eh? This is very worrying.
After clearing the land, you now start saying, okay, apamande kuna shikalime so, maputa or something like that.
You people are like, group. Anyway, tell us something. Obviously, when we are growing sweet potatoes, the labor is higher than growing maize, isn't it? Maybe. Because you have to make those how do you call those things? Like tumahams, I don't know how you call them in farming. Yeah? The farrows.
They are ridges or farrow. Where you are picking say farrow, then you close comes or a ridge where farrow is still in there.
I think even cassava, Jacob, you experienced there in cassava, you grow a lot of cassava. Tell us something.
I'm new here, so I don't know anything about it.
Okay, but I think it makes. I think, guys, still it makes sense, isn't it? You clear the whole land, then now you become specific of what you want to grow. The requirements will be different. The problem that if you don't come up with very good assumptions, you have problems. So we have to make sure that we understand the assumptions. So under this, it's still basically under labor, isn't it? It's still basically under labor. So we are saying for corn is how many hours? For corn is 4 hours. Then soya beans is how many hours? Soybeans is 8 hours.
8 hours.
Okay, what other assumptions are we remaining with? Then here now we are told cost of seed is 55 kwacha per acre of corn. So now we are actually looking at the cost of seed. Okay, so cost of seed, corn is what? Cost of seed is 55 kwacha per acre. So say per acre. kwacha per acre.
74.
How much? 74? That's corn. Then soya is what?
24.
24.
74.
Corn is 55. Corn is 55. Was that confused? Corn is 55. Soya is 74. There's someone who has switched on a TV or whatever. Just mute yourself. Then we are told the entire 100 acres requires 60 bags of fertilizer. So fertilizer so say the whole farm. We'll just use the farm here. Bags. Oh, sorry. So bags is 60 bags, huh? Then on fertilizer, what are we told? We must be told about the cost. Okay. So the cost per bag. Is how much? 320. I think we have exhausted all the assumptions, guys. Have we exhausted all the assumptions? Look at the question. Look at whether if there are certain things that we have missed out. Be humble and tell us that we have missed this and that. Or be brave. Okay.
Be brave.
What about the price for the bushels?
Yeah?
95. The percentage acre for corn and percentage acre for soybean.
Well. Mr. Guza's acres that can be used for growing, okay? 60% and 40% of soybeans. This one we're going to put it under general because this 60 and 40% will be linked both to your sales and to your cost, isn't it? Guys, showing you real modeling.
Okay.
Yeah, real modeling. Yeah. You go like this. You change here, you call it general assumptions. This is where you put all your general assumptions, whatever assumption that you dream of. So under these general assumptions, we are saying, so you call it growing mix. So under the growing mix, guys, we'll do like this. You put percentage there. You put percentage here. You have to be very quick in creating these things. So you have your 95. You have 60. Is it 60? Yeah. Save. Is it making sense, guys? It's about establishing some good flow in modeling.
Okay.
I guess you are done, eh? Up to there. Today we oversubscribed. You have seen what I was saying, Martha. When they hear the assignments, they all come out like I don't know. When we are just doing proper things, learning Excel and modeling, you have never seen. Now you have heard there's an assignment. We are all here. Eh? Mama, give us a signal, Mama. Where have you come from anyway? We're 11 here. Give us a signal, Mama. Where have you come from? All these days, Mama, they were not there.
If there was no that cafe, can I end up so? I'm sure can you come give us a signal, Mama.
We have a long night.
We want that. We wrote the hill, right?
Everything was done. I don't think there's anything that we have missed, guys. Just check if there's anything that has been missed.
Nothing, Coach Pat. We've covered all of them.
I think everything has been covered, eh? Save. This is what we do. Then we'll call this model. So guys, we are going to now we'll start looking at the model. I'm giving you just 5 minutes to stretch yourselves. You can walk outside a bit, but make sure that you don't meet the gases. We have a long day. Those that can go outside, please, you can go outside, just stretch yourselves for 5 minutes, just 5 minutes.
Okay. Go and give food to my dog.
Okay, so now we are done with assumptions. Now we are creating the model. So we have to ask what do they want us to do? So here saying construct a model using models are different. So it should be told.
Absolute and relative.
So now we'll need to have the sales nicely. We'll need to have the cost of sales, the cost of fertilizer, and all that. You get that, huh? So we'll do this. I'll pick my thing here. I'll use this same thing. I'll pick it nicely. I'll just pick one of these. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So I'll pick this, bring it in here, and change to we'll call it in the income statement.
Income statement.
If you want, you can call it profit and loss account, but according to income statement. So in here now.
How do you make your Excel sheet like this, Constanta?
Yeah. Like.
How do you make your Excel to look like this?
Like how? Why? What do you mean?
Removing the lines.
That one I've been doing this from the time you joined this platform. You go to view, you remove, you uncheck. That's the only thing that is there, Jago.
And you go to what?
To view. And you remove grid lines. So it's the lines, the what. Those things are the ones that I was telling you that into my flowers chart, because you see, as a financial modeler, your models have to look very smart, very clean. Not my line what.
Was I there when you talked about this?
You were there, and you even took note. So now, guys, we have sales. So I don't know here whether we should show soya on its own. Then I think we should show in.
Let's show them on their own.
So we'll show here. Let me just pick the other part this side. I think just to help. From B, I'll do like this.
From my screen.
The screen is just log out and log in. You will see the screen. Trust me. You will see the screen. So I can now remove these things here. So we'll show the measure there. Then I will show here. Is it corn that we're starting with? Corn.
Then soya beans.
Then soya beans, as you're calling it. Soya beans in H. Then in J, we'll say consolidated. Because you would want to see a consolidated view, isn't it? Right? Which would be adding corn and soya at any given time. Hello? So now we start, guys. We have sales. Here it's kwacha. Trust me, this is just kwacha. the measure is kwacha. Trust me on this one, the measure is kwacha. So, and here I'll do like this. Don't follow these my flowers, otherwise you take time. Don't follow my flowers.
Okay.
So sales now. We go here on sales. So
25 times 95.
So the first thing that we'll do, yes, we'll need to apportion this farm by this general thing. By where? By the general thing of 60/40, isn't it? The farm should be subdivided into that. So once we subdivide that, we know that we have 160 acres and 40 acres. You agree?
Yes.
Okay. So then,
Okay.
So first we need to do that first. Even before we look at the cells here, I'll do like this. I'll take it slightly up. So we'll look at the acres. So on the measure on the acres, guys, we know that corn will be, we go to assumptions equals assumption 100 times everything, guys, has to be connected. We have to connect this. So since you want to use those, maybe let me just start. Let's actually name these things. Let's name these things which you are calling, for some reason you have divided something, you are calling them absolute and whatever. So here, guys, call this the 100 there on your, just call it, this is a farm. Name it as farm.
Or the 100?
Yeah, that's a farm, isn't it? So it's 100 acres, that farm. We'll be naming them as we move on. We don't want to confuse things, but here I think we can call corn. We can name this selling price SP, then underscore corn, isn't it?
Or the selling price, yes. So SP underscore corn.
So we are saying SP underscore corn, then call this SP underscore soya, maybe I'll just call it soya. Ukatia space it will refuse, just call it soya unless you put an underscore.
Okay.
Then on the yield we can say maybe yield
Y underscore corn.
Yeah, even Y underscore, yeah. Y underscore corn. Then Y underscore soya. Guys, ngatika kupita nika underscore, don't feel shy, sometimes it's better to ask. So since we are dealing with the cells, first let's finish these cells. So the first thing, guys, we want to find the acres, the corn, so we know it's farm. Oh, we also do the percentages. You remember the percentages? We can name them as well. So this one, what we call this? How do we name this? Oh, yeah. On. Corn underscore area. Then soya underscore area. Very good. Save, guys. Anakona no machai. Yeah. Done, eh? Done. So guys, we start the acres. Here the acres we are saying acres equals to farm times what? Farm times what you are calling corn area. Yeah. And then here soya also equals farm times soya what? Soya area. Then now you find your total there. Comma this. In modeling, we discourage quick comma plus. You use the sum. But that no 60 plus 40. Yeah, sum open bracket, you put F9 comma H9. We discourage putting more plus. Because with this one, like this. Just sum. You can still do your equal sign, but it's not good practice. Sum. You pick your F9 comma. You are summing this too. You can still do 60 plus 40. No, they will not see. They will not say that it's not allowed. They will agree with you. But proper modeling, we avoid more plus.
What did you use on the code?
Yeah?
The formula, the code.
The formula on the corn. It's just a farm. Remember, we named the 100 acres as farm. Then the corn area was on the percentages. Okay, so now the only thing we have done this, guys.
Yes.
Today's oversubscribed. No one is going to sleep. Okay. Sure. So now, guys. Hey, surprise, huh? Innocent, is he under quarantine?
I think we need to find out.
So now, the only thing that we need to understand here, guys, it is on the yield, how these bushels. So we need to find, if we are saying bushels per acre, we need to know, because these guys, they are selling in bushels, not in acres, isn't it?
Also, the total bushels for corn and total bushels for soya.
So now we need to know how many bushels are there, because we have already found the acres. So here now, let me just take it down. We need now to find the bushels, because you are selling in bushels, you don't sell in acres, huh? You get that? So now we'll be multiplying these acres times the bushels per acre to find the number of bushels under corn and soya, which we are sowing. You are seeing the game plan, eh? So now we'll come to yield, under yield here. Let's actually call this corn. Do we say B underscore corn underscore B, meaning it's bushels, huh? Oh, we have already even named it. It's Y. Okay, I didn't say that. Yeah. So what it is, let me explain this. I have to see your face. Let me explain this. If it's showing 95 bushels per acre, if you have 2 acres, it will be 95 times 2, isn't it?
Right.
Now that we have 60 on the other side, it will be 60 times 95. So we will know the number of bushels. Right. So if you agree with that, then let's model it, guys. Let's model it.
Let's go, Fox.
Let's go, Fox. Say it right. So now, guys, we agree that we'll start with this. This is a yield per corn, yield corn times the number of acres here. You pick like this. So we know there are 700. Then you go this side, guys. It will be Y soya times your number of acres on top there. Then consolidated. You just do Control D, guys. You just do Control D. You don't need to waste a lot of time. Understood, guys, huh?
Understood.
So under corn, we had because of the yield, so we only had 5,700 bushels, whereas soya we had 2,400 bushels. Now that we have this, we can now do this. Okay. Presentation, guys, is key, very key. Presentation is key. So then now, with the sales selling, we have no problem now. Did we name selling something? What did we name? Selling price. Did we name anything on selling price?
SP.
Or SP, okay. So then now, remember that this is the quarter per bushel. So we have already found the bushels. That's simple job on our side. So we have found the number of bushels, and we have the selling price. So the selling price, so sales will be equals SP corn times the number of bushels here. Here again we have equals SP, I hope it's making sense, times number of bushels here. So I'll copy this. Just put it this side here. Okay, still. Okay, someone wants to see. Guys, in modeling, smartness is key. For you to produce a model that is worth the money that you have costed your client, it needs to look so clean. I hope you're enjoying this stuff, guys.
Too much.
Yeah. So sales, you are done, isn't it? On sales, you are done. So sales, we are done. I think we have factored in all this. Then now we come to the cost. So under the cost here, guys, we'll need to show the cost as in terms of labor. We'll need to show them as in terms of the seed and fertilizer. These are the cost variables that are there.
Okay.
There is only labor, cost of seed, and the fertilizer. Agree?
Agree.
So agreed, guys. So here now, we'll have under labor, what types of things that we have under labor? We have under labor, yeah, it's basically labor, cost of seed, and fertilizer. So we have labor, sorry. We have labor. We have, what did we say?
Seed.
Seed. That's a cost variable. What other thing did we say?
Fertilizer.
Fertilizer. All these guys. Then here, I'll go like this. It's too thick. It's too thick. I don't need that. It's too thick. So now we'll come to labor. Let's study what labor is. There are a lot of things that are there. Again, I'll create a bit of some space here for the computations that we'll do under labor. So we need to know the number of hours that will take to clear the farm. So the general preparation, we'll call it general preparation of the land. So say farm, I'll come here. First, this one we code it on acres. We are actually looking at farm allocation. I can call it farm mix. Here is basically number of bushels sowed, what was sowed. This is in terms of bushels. Then here I would say general preparation. This also I'll reduce it. Land general preparation. General preparation. So on land general preparation, here I'm looking at number of hours.
So that means that we have to add that class here as well.
Adding to where?
On the under land general preparation.
No, remember
Because
that.
of the general preparation.
Then of the corn we have what? Yes, we'll have to add all those later on, but just check first. We find on general preparation, what was we are told per acre is how many hours? We come here.
6 hours.
We are told
6
preparation is 6 hours, guys. Right?
Yes.
So this is we'll call it Gen hours. Gen hours, eh? Gen.
Okay.
Then underscore hours, meaning that these are just general hours. Gen hours. Call that Gen hours. Then the other one on corn, just call it corn. Do we say H? Okay, I don't know how we can call it, but maybe corn underscore hours. Then this one we say soya underscore hours.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay. So land general hour, the thing here, we know that to prepare this land, general is 6 hours per acre. So we'll say equals gen hours times the number of acres under corn here, which will be 360. Same here, we'll do like this, 240. So in terms of the total number of hours, times 60, pick the 60 there. Don't add code, pick the 60 in there. Don't just type it 60. That would be a problem.
Times this.
Times F whatever.
600.
Hello, is it making sense, guys? Then now we go to specifics. Now we start with corn, right? So corn here again is number of hours.
Corn preparation.
Yeah. So we have
preparation.
tap preparation. So corn hours times the farm mix there, where we have the 60 acres. So it takes us 240. Then here it takes 160. In total, it takes that. Oh, sorry, here it's not corn hours. Here is what? Here it is soya hours times the soybeans, the side.
Increase your screen. Zoom your screen a bit. It's too small.
Okay. This is too much again. Let me just remove them. And just grow it to the other side, guys.
Okay.
Oh, this is too much again.
Now, if you name it that
your network. If you have
named it as corn, but it's gathering for corn and soybean.
Not corn is different. Which one?
Monday, check C12. I don't know what C12. You named it also like
Look at it. It's soya hours. This one
general preparation.
on general preparation. Which one?
The one below land general preparation.
Oh, yeah. So this one now, find a better word. What do we call it? Maybe field prep. What do we call it? Mumeka, a farmer there, you live in the Mongo is a village. Mongo is a village, so you can tell us if you have a proper idea.
What about planting preparation? Something like that.
Okay, meaning that now we are
planting now.
I didn't.
I have a question. Why did we calculate the 240 and 320?
the
240 and the 320.
So the 240, remember that we had corn hours this side. We have this where here where it shows corn hours per acre is 4 hours. Then soybeans, we even named it corn hours. Then on soybeans it's 8 hours. It's 8 hours per acre. So when we came this side, because then we're actually trying to be more specific, like they are saying this should be called plant preparation. So we are saying if the corn plantation is 60 acres, and for us to know the number of hours here, we'll need to multiply.
We multiply.
Yes.
The hours spent on that acre.
You understand now, Monica?
You multiplied the corn hours times?
The corn hours times the acres.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
I will find there. So I'll create some space here, guys. I'll create some space deliberately. I'll create some space. I'll explain to you. Let me just take it to 6.5. Then this part here, I'll close it as well. I'll do like this. I'll close it from here. Nicely. I'll close it like this, because then here now I'm looking at the land preparation. Then here we'll have total hours. Again, I'll just create a bit of some space. Just a bit of some space, guys. Which is 6.5. So here now, guys, I'll do this and say total hours, huh? So total, since I'm using hours, I'll pick this and paste it there. Because for labor, we need all the hours, total hours. Remember that the rate is already there. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Did we define the labor cost per hour? Did we define?
No.
So if you are done here, let me know. Then we go and define. Okay, so we go and define under assumptions. Okay, we haven't defined, we defined this. So on the rate, we'll just say labor underscore rate. Labor underscore rate. This is how you're going to define. Since you call it labor underscore rate, since you call it absolute and relative, this is how you're going to do absolute and relative.
Labor underscore rate, the one doing time.
Which is basically the labor rate, huh? So we'll go to this now, guys. Under labor, we'll say equals labor rate times what? Times the total number of hours, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Copy there, copy here. Save.
Okay.
Is it making sense?
A lot of sense, Coach Kale.
That's very good. Then now we'll go to seed. Let's check on seed and interpret what seed assumptions are there. So on seeds, it's easy work because it's just kwacha per acre. So we'll have to, did we name this? We haven't named this.
We haven't.
So say seed underscore corn or corn or, and no, let's say seed underscore corn, seed underscore soya.
So seeds
Underscore corn.
underscore
Corn. Then soya underscore seed, sorry.
Seed underscore
Soya. Pomana. We are moving stage by stage and we are consuming, at least we are managing we are almost exhausting all the assumptions that we have put there. Hello? So here we are told it's 55 kwacha per acre. So on seed, we have no problem, guys. We just to say equals seed, which is basically corn, times the number of acres here. Then we come here, guys. Again, we say equals seed soya times the number of acres there. Then after, we just copy this. We're almost done. We're almost done. What have I done? I've copied something.
Like that, I had to redo the sum.
I have to do like this. Okay.
It's supposed to be 6,200.
And 60.
Correct.
So now we got fertilizer, guys. Let's also interpret the assumptions on fertilizer and see whether they make sense.
The entire 100 acres requires 60 bags of fertilizer.
So here,
the price of this is per bag.
So here, guys, what we'll do, we'll split this. This is 60 bags for the whole farm. So we'll use these percentages to the corn area to split this. Then we will multiply by the cost in square manner. Right. So let's name this. So this one, what do we call it? Just bags / F fertilizer, right? Or fertilizer. Okay, let's guys. Muzani Musabati.
Which one? 60?
Yeah, on the 60 here, we'll say, because those are bags. So they're basically fertilizer bags. So I'll say F bags. Yeah. So that is fertilizer bags. I've say F _ bags. Then here now on that 320, I'm saying F cost. Fertilizer cost. F _ cost. The other one is F _ bags. Save. So the thing here, what we are going to do, these 60 bags. Understand one thing. These 60 bags is the whole farm, isn't it?
It's for the whole.
It's for the whole farm. So we'll apportion those 60 bags based on the area. Then once we do that, then we multiply by the rate, the cost. Happy?
Happy.
So say equals. So say the F _ bags times the corn area. You're calling it corn area, isn't it? Times the F cost.
Wow. Okay. So F bag Z corn area and Z F cost. Does it give you 11,520?
11,520, yes. Then again here to be F bags times soya area times you're calling it what? What cost? F cost. Giving you 19.2. You're almost done, guys.
We're done.
So then now, here I'll leave some space. row height, which is 6.5. Get the total here. Which is 86. Go here. So I need to find the line. So this is basically total cost. We have sales there, meaning that down here now, this is where we are going to have our profit. Profit stroke open bracket loss, like this. Maona mwapanga kamodel kamushi. I'll leave a bit of some space, then row height, I use 6.5 like this. So it will be sales minus the total cost there. Which, if I want this one, I can name it total cost.
The project event behind how you find labor?
Labor, we first found the number of hours here. Number of hours, total hours. So it was total hours times the labor cost, which was 120 kwacha. So the labor rate times the number of hours. That is how we got labor cost. Understood? Put it there, put it here, put it there.
Akakachaya ma-profit ka?
Kachaya. It was like a good company than Jamachan. Mapiza, what were they selling?
Gambuzo.
It's a good place thing. It hasn't had errors today. Vijama joint teacher, that one was confusion. It was not even a business word. Okay, so you have done a model. Are you happy?
Very much.
So meaning tomorrow, guys, this 15 marks you have gotten it. Oh.
Let's do the next one before we go to
so that tomorrow you can do this. So that you can do those two, then you can come to this palace. Pomulani kachukusta vinamka, kachukusta vinam. So rest. So now, guys, what we have done, you find time. We had been told matter. You can redo the whole thing. That is how you get to learn. You ignore whatever you have done in there. You start again afresh. You should always find the logic in what you are doing, so that tomorrow again we start at a different level. But by that time, you would have cleaned up all the cobwebs you have in your head. Because those cobwebs have to be removed. Not futhi manje kapeza ma cobwebs ena. But you can see that we have done 3/4 of the work. The job was really on coming up with setting up assumptions. That is where the job is.
Yes. That's very true, Coach Kat. The other job is on part C.
Part C, what do you mean part C?
I'm just joking. Coach Kat, I'm not feeling sleep.
Yeah, so now find something to do. You go back and restart doing the whole thing.
Okay.
Until it makes sense.
Okay.
So thank you so much. Bye bye.
Okay, good night, Coach.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Coach Kat.